Justice Veerasamy Ramaswamy became the first person in independent India against whom impeachment proceedings began. They went into advanced stages, but eventually he was not removed because of political calculations. It was portrayed that a southern side judge, that is, a judge from South India, from Madras, he was being harassed in North India. Hello and welcome to UPSC Simplified. In today's video lecture, we are going to understand a very interesting story from Indian political history. It's a story of first impeachment proceeding of a Supreme Court judge. It's a story of first failed impeachment proceeding. It's a story of Justice V. Ramaswamy. Justice Veerasamy Ramaswamy became the first person in independent India against whom impeachment proceedings began. They went into advanced stages, but eventually he was not removed because of political calculations. In this lecture, we are going to understand this story thoroughly. You all know that to remove a judge from higher judiciary, that is a Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge, they are to be removed as per Article 124. That is by a special majority in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. A resolution has to be passed by special majority. Although the proceedings have to be followed according to the Judges Inquiry Act 1968, which gives you the procedure. The first step of the procedure begins with a notice to the Parliament, either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Required number of MPs have to give a notice. 100 MPs have to support in Lok Sabha, 50 MPs in Rajya Sabha. The notice has to be accepted by the presiding officer. If the presiding officer accepts it, after that an inquiry committee is set up. The inquiry committee consists of a Supreme Court judge, a High Court judge, and an eminent jurist. They will look into the allegations against the judge. A judge can only be removed for two reasons. One is proved misbehavior and another one is proved incapacity. The inquiry committee, after looking into all the allegations, they will give a report to the concerned house. On the basis of the report, the concerned house will take up the impeachment motion and they have to pass it by a special majority. That is, 2/3 members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of that particular house. When both the houses pass the resolution, the president will issue the order of removal of that particular judge. And in case of Justice Veerasamy Ramaswamy, it went on till the inquiry committee, and the report of the inquiry committee, it prima facie held or upheld the guilt or allegations that were leveled against him. Despite all these things, he was not removed. Why? Because of an interesting story of political abstention in Lok Sabha. So let's try to understand what exactly happened. As I told you, Justice Ramaswamy was from South India. He was an advocate and later on became a judge. He became a judge in Madras High Court. Ramaswamy was enrolled as an advocate in the Madras bar, and he practiced there both civil and criminal law. And eventually he was appointed as a permanent judge to the Madras High Court in 1971. And from 1971, for the next 16 years, he served in the Madras High Court. After that, he was transferred to Punjab and Haryana High Court in November 1987. He was appointed as a Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court, where he served in Chandigarh. After 2 years, I would say after almost 22 months, he was appointed, or he was elevated to the position of Supreme Court judge in 1989. When he was appointed or elevated to Supreme Court, allegations soon emerged that his tenure at the Chandigarh court was plagued with issues or plagued with problems, mainly extravagant spending at the cost of public exchequer. There were allegations that he had sanctioned high expenditure on the quarters or on the place where he was staying. He had sanctioned through the public funds extraordinary funding for carpets, curtains, furnishing, crockery, household items from public funds up to the tune of 9 lakh rupees. Huge amount considering that was a time period in 1989-1990. There was a lot of media coverage, and the Supreme Court Bar Association, it raised these issues. In fact, they use a term called as luxury justice scandal to highlight this particular case of Justice Ramaswamy, the first judge of Supreme Court against whom the impeachment proceedings started. The Supreme Court Bar Association itself highlighted this extravagant lifestyle, and they advised or they recommended that necessary steps be taken to remove him. This was in 1991. 1 month later, that is in March 1991, the opposition MPs, it was BJP at that time in the opposition, National Front, leftist parties and BJP, together 108 MPs came and they signed a notice and gave the Lok Sabha Speaker. It was given in Lok Sabha, and the Lok Sabha Speaker at that particular time was Rabi Ray, who accepted this notice. So formal impeachment proceedings began, and the Lok Sabha Speaker appointed an inquiry committee also. This inquiry committee was famously known as PB Sawant committee. Why? Because PB Sawant was Supreme Court judge. He was heading, or he was the chairman of that committee. The other two judges, or I would say retired judge, O Chinnappa Reddy was retired judge. I wouldn't call eminent jurist, but a retired judge. There was O Chinnappa Reddy, there was Prabodh Dinkar Desai, and PB Sawant. This committee looked into the allegations, and there were 14 allegations leveled against Justice Ramaswamy. Abuse of office, misuse of office, extravagant spending, dereliction of duty. So many allegations were there, 14 complaints altogether. And this committee, it looked into these allegations for almost a year. More than a year long probe went on, and out of the 14 charges, it upheld 11. And they suggested that prima facie there is misbehavior and recommended parliamentary action against Justice Ramaswamy. I have to read something verbatim from the report. The committee concluded that Justice Ramaswamy was guilty of willful and gross misuse of office, purposeful and persistent negligence in discharge of duties, intentional and habitual extravagance at the cost of public exchequer, moral turpitude by using public funds for private purposes in diverse ways, and reckless disregard for statutory rules. These are not my lines, these are lines of the PB Sawant committee. Based on this particular report, the discussion or debate took place in Lok Sabha, and eventually the motion of impeachment was up for vote. And that fine day was 10th May 1993. And on this day, Kapil Sibal, the renowned advocate that you know, he came to defense of Justice Ramaswamy in the Lok Sabha. And in a very theatrical and a very passionate speech that he gave, Sibal tried to defend Ramaswamy. And again, what typical advocates or lawyers do is try to find some sort of loopholes. Sibal, he attacked the credibility of the inquiry committee itself. He suggested that this is a matter, very serious matter about judicial independence. So instead of one particular judge, this issue was portrayed as a threat towards judicial independence. Apart from that, another argument was the material that did not reach high threshold of impeachment. That was one of the arguments by Mr. Sibal. Mr. Sibal and team Ramaswamy, they tried to portray this particular as a North versus South issue, which did resonate with many MPs. It was portrayed that a southern side judge, that is a judge from South India, from Madras, he was being harassed in North India. So they successfully tapped into North versus South sentiment, suggesting that a South Indian judge was being victimized by North Indian vested interests. But it's a very interesting idea that you need to know, those who are preparing for the examination, that whenever there is impeachment proceeding going on, the judge can take a help of an advocate to defend themselves in front of the committee, also in front of Lok Sabha or in front of Parliament as well. Now, after all these theatrics, the motion was put to vote, and a very interesting thing happened. Okay, so when the motion was put to vote, on that fine day, there were 401 members who were present. Now, you know that to remove a Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge, you need extraordinary majority. Absolute majority, the House, plus 2/3 members present and voting. So, there were 401 members present, out of which 196 MPs voted to remove Justice Ramaswamy. Nobody said no. But a very interesting thing happened. 205 members in the Parliament or in the Lok Sabha that particular day, they abstained from voting. That means they were present, they did not vote. What we need is two-thirds majority of members present and voting. So there were 205 MPs who did not vote. They abstained. Most of these MPs were from Congress I and allies of Congress I. At that time, Prime Minister was P.V. Narasimha Rao, and the government, or I would say the ruling dispensation, had issued a whip to MPs to abstain from voting. What would happen? The motion failed. First impeachment proceeding failed because of political calculations. Now would be thinking, so why did this happen? Because again, as I told you, the defense that was used, or the defense was politicized. It was dubbed to be an issue of judicial independence. Later on, it was given a north versus south angle. And there were many southern parties, DMK, AIDMK, the southern parties, they abstained from voting. Congress I had already issued a whip not to vote, so they also abstained. Most of the opposition party members who had given the signature for notice of impeachment, they voted to remove, but the required majority could not be garnered. That means it's a story of failed impeachment where the inquiry committee held a judge guilty, or I would say prima facie there was misbehavior. That means the misbehavior was proved to the inquiry committee, but because of political abstentions, I would say because of political calculations, impeachment failed. What transpired later? Nothing. What would happen? The judge continued. Justice Ramaswami continued as a sitting judge and retired from Supreme Court, very interestingly, on an interesting date, 14th February 1994. He retained all post-retirement benefits because the impeachment motion had failed. Later on, 5 years after that, he contested in 1999 Lok Sabha elections from Sivakasi as AIA-DMK candidate, and he lost the election. So there was some sort of political calculation, political abstention. What does all these point out to? The story of first failed impeachment, it teaches us a lesson that the entire proceeding of removal of the higher judiciary or higher judiciary judges, it's extremely tough. Ramaswamy's impeachment, it has exposed the weakness of removal mechanism. That is why in the history of, I would say, 80 odd years, very close to 80 odd years now, no judge of Supreme Court or High Court has been impeached till date. Where is the judicial accountability? If you look at the entire process, yes, we do need judicial independence, but we also need accountability. It is at the mercy of politicians, and we all saw how political calculations work. Different scholars, constitutional experts, activists, they call that the judges' removal process is quite cumbersome, outdated, and ineffective. And whenever there is a discussion or talk about judges' accountability, like we are having right now from last 1 year, where there is an impeachment proceeding going on against Justice Yashwant Verma. He also has been alleged of misbehavior. Huge pile of cash was found at his Delhi residence premises, or nearby that, whatever you can call it. Okay. So whenever such things happen, there is always a debate. Now all eyes are on the impeachment proceeding going on. We recently discussed a writ petition that was filed by Justice Verma to dismiss the inquiry committee. So the inquiry is still going on, but the entire process is quite lengthy, cumbersome, and it will all boil down to political will, or I would say it will all boil down to vote by the MPs. So whenever such issues come up, we sit, we debate, we talk about judicial accountability, we talk about reforms in judiciary, but eventually those debates fade out without any meaningful institutional reforms, without any judicial reforms. So perhaps it's time for judicial accountability and judicial reforms. Let me know your thoughts about this particular story, and let me know your feedback and comments on this particular video as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any queries, if you want to connect with me, if you have any doubts, you can always reach out to me on this avenue. @Rahul Sai222 is my Instagram ID. You can directly message me. This is my number also where you can reach out to me. Thank you for watching this video. Jai Hind.